Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today to review like a little mini series from Netflix. 3 episodes long. 3 episodes long, and I think the first two are 45 minutes, and the last one was like 50 minutes. Now it was about the Woodstock of 1999. It was called Trainwreck Woodstock '99, and everyone who knows that knew there was a huge failure that ended in rioting and fires and destruction and all this other stuff. I saw it when I was going across Netflix. I saw the show up there. I mean, it looked good, and then all of a sudden, I didn't really think about it because I was thinking about other stuff I wanted to watch. There's just too much stuff to watch now. Now, I remember Grandma Ducky this afternoon did like a Woodstock stream. I guess she was playing a little bit of just the audio of that in the video. Oh man, I gotta watch this. So I did. Now, I was telling you my memories of Woodstock 99. I know Woodstock 69 was like 1 year old when that happened, right? And the biggest controversy was they had like, people had, they had Sha Na Na on there, playing on there, and it kind of didn't fit the groove with the other bands. But I mean, there was a huge variety of bands during Woodstock 99, so. And I remember they brought it back for Woodstock 94, and they mentioned it a little bit. Well, they talked about, in the documentary, they talked about the guy who organized that, now the guy who organized the one in 94 and the one in 99. Yeah, I remember the one in 94, MTV covered it, and this was before, I was just working like part-time for a while. And, I remember it was just, basically it was just all mud. You go in there, it was like mud, it rained really bad, torrential downpours and stuff. It was just muddy all the way through. And they said a theme song for the Woodstock was My Name is Mud. And I guess Primus played there. So, I mean, I guess that was a theme song for the whole venue back in 94. And it's like, they mentioned it just a little bit. I remember they coming to this on MTV. And they showed people sliding down. They showed people like putting like mud in their mouth. And like, ugh. And, what the hell happened? Oh, the thing is, like, the fences came loose from the mud and stuff like that, and people getting it for free. And guys, you know this is a paid venue, shouldn't be getting it free, so they said they didn't make any money. So, like, 5 years later, they decided to do it again, and the same guy who organized the original Woodstock organized this one, 99, and he teamed up with some, like, big Hollywood producer or something like that, or a record producer or something. And they, started a whole big thing. They had a big line of list of bands, but the bands were like different types of bands. Like, I mean, they had like the main with like Korn, Rage Against the Machine, and Limp Bizkit, the new metal, what they call it, new metal bands and stuff like that. And then they have like Willie Nelson, James Brown, and Jewel on there. So the Sheryl Crow, the big variety of bands. And but I didn't know that it opened up with James Brown because I know MTV was covering it, but I worked a lot of time. And I will tell you, before I forget, there was a story. I know one guy that did go there, Woodstock 99. I was asking him about it. He said it was okay. I asked, what happened with all the rioting and kids and stuff like that? He didn't answer. He didn't say anything. And then, he never talked about it after that. And then he went to work somewhere else. And then when he came back, he said he was working some other place part-time. And then something happened. There was like a grinding stone that blew up or something like that, and sadly he was killed. He was killed. Well, anyway, I thought I'd mention that part too, because that's the only guy I knew that ever went to that thing. And they talked to other people that went to the 99, and they they wanted to get a place that was like kind of walled up so people wouldn't sneak in for free, because it was basically they want to make money. They want to make money, right? And they went to this abandoned Air Force hangar. It was like a 8 mile enclosure around or whatever it was. And when they went in and stuff, they had like tents and stuff. The kids and stuff, like had tents and stuff because it was a 3-day affair, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? I guess the tickets were $150. So someone mentioned $150 for a ticket. Ticket. And dang it, let me move this so I don't stop my. And what happened was they went through security, and security confiscated their food and drinks and stuff like that, you know. They confiscated their food and drinks. And it was kind of crazy. Let me just this one thing. They confiscated their food and drinks, right? And, I mean, they brought water and stuff like that, and they confiscated, and then, like, if they wanted water, they had vendors there. I guess somebody sold their rights to the food rights to the vendors, so the vendors could charge whatever they wanted. And they were like, the one girl said, like, if you want to buy a thing of bottled water, right, it would usually cost 65 cents. There it cost $4. And, like, stuff like pop, or, like, they had, like, a little list. They had nachos, $4. This is 99, remember. Bottled water, $4. Coke, $4, and then something else, $4. Another drink. I don't know if it was ice or I don't know what it was. And they were talking about being price gouged, and they said it's a huge ripoff. And the kids were getting mad because they were being charged up the wazoo. And then later on, when things were scarce, they were charging up to $12 for like a thing of bottled water. They charged whatever they wanted. Well, that was one of the problems. And then they talked about like James Brown opening up for the show, which I didn't know about. And then I do remember this. Sheryl Crow was the second one up there. And the guys kept yelling at her, show her boot. Well, they didn't say show her boot. They said, show your tits. And she said, like, well, you're going to have to pay a lot more than what you pay for your ticket to see my tits. That's what she said to the crowd. I always remember that part. And then, it progressed okay. And then it landed. And then they said they booked like these bands like Korn and Limp Bizkit and stuff like that. And then they said they didn't know who they were, these older guys. They didn't know they were more aggressive bands and stuff like that. They talked about Korn performing. I know Ducky talked about that. The way she said, I thought she was at that thing. She said she wished that she wasn't at that. And what the hell else was there? Yeah, I mean it was like they had like a big mosh pit, and like the crowd was like boom, 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 bounce up and down like that. And they ended up that. Well, they had that, and then they had Bush coming out. And Bush, they're trying to get someone like, they had so much energy, and I think Bush kind of calmed them down a little bit more. They made it a little more peaceful and stuff. But they should have ended with Korn, but that's up to them. I didn't organize the show. And the next day is whenever they saw the trash on the ground. All the porta potties were all trashed. Everything like that. He said it stunk really bad. It was really horrible conditions after the first day. Friday was successful, and then after that, not so much. And they had like a thing like these different hangars you can hang out at, like this rave thing. And with that, it started going bad. Well, I mean, kids were getting fed up with that, and it was so hot out, brutally hot out. And then, like I said, they were charging so much for water. There was no shade. People like going lying under cars to try to get shade or something like that. It was just so brutally hot. They didn't really have anybody there. They didn't really have security. That one guy said he didn't believe in like weaponry or anything like that, like having cops or something like that. So he had like peace police. And basically these 18, 19-year-old kids say, hey, you want to come down here and help us out? And they'll pay them $500. And they just wore like yellow t-shirts. They had no weapons or anything like that to keep the peace or anything like that. And I think this one girl says, walked up to him and said, does that shirt get you anything? And the guy said, yeah, it gets me anything I want. And she said, it gets me backstage. He said, yep. And he said, and it said, how much you want for it? He said, $400. She gave him $400, and then said he didn't give a shit. He gave her the shirt, and he had another one in his backpack or whatever it was. Kind of funny. But no, when Limp Bizkit came out, there was like some aggression stuff like that, and then they started doing the song Break Stuff. And that's when things got really crazy. They started tearing off parts of this tower and all this other stuff. It was like, that was like the really, one of the turning points of the show. That women were getting groped and stuff like that by the guys. And like, everybody was naked. A lot of people were naked or like fooling around and stuff like that. A lot of heat exhaustion, heat stroke, people getting hurt. Then that was the next day. They had a whole bunch of stuff, including they were going to do they were trying to do like something like a thing against gun violence, because they talked about Columbine just happening in 97, I think. And when the Red Hot Chili Peppers were out, they wanted to have like this candlelight vigil. Because like whenever they went in there, all security confiscated all flammable items. So all of a sudden they were giving 100,000 candles. They were light, and they did that song Under the Bridge, and then they started lighting out. They took off the fire, and they started lighting everything on fire. Certainly like these giant trails that would burn. Everything is burning, exploding. And they were saying like they wanted Red Hot Chili Peppers. They stopped the concert. They told like that guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, you try to help stop the thing. And he said, well, they won't listen to me. But they went out there and they did the song Fire from Jimi Hendrix. And there was supposed to be some giant promise of some another guest playing there. It was like everyone was excited. That was last band night, but there was a surprise happening. And I guess it was just they were showing the Jimi Hendrix from the old Woodstock film. That was the thing, Jimi Hendrix, where they showed you, and all the crowd was pissed. And they got revenge, and well, even before that, people were leaving and stuff like that, and they started rioting really bad. The cops came in, MTV left, and everybody left. I mean, but there were people there still tearing down stuff. It was chaos, but it was a wonder. It was a great series. It was really good. Showing a lot of footage I never saw before. But MTV ain't going to show the industry. You know that. And it's a wonderful show. It's a 3-part show called Trainwreck Woodstock 99. I give it a 10 out of 10. So if you like the video, bye. Till next time, please take care, my legion.